We've all been there, right? That feeling of being completely drained, just totally fried by stress. It's a universal thing. But what if the real battle for your mental well-being isn't just being fought in your head? What if it's also happening in your gut? In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on this incredible, unseen connection between the food you eat, the stress you're under, and the actual physical wiring of your brain. All right, let's get into it.
Think about your average day. The constant pings from your phone, the work deadlines, the bills, all of it. Now, you're not running from a saber-toothed tiger, but your body, it kind of doesn't know the difference. It sees these modern stressors as legitimate threats, and it keeps your internal alarm system flicked on, leaving you in this perpetual state of high alert. You feel like you're constantly under attack.
It's a wild thought, isn't it? That maybe one of the most powerful weapons we have to build our resilience against this daily onslaught is our diet. I mean, we just don't talk about nutrition enough when we talk about mental health, but the science is telling us, loud and clear, that it's a massive piece of the puzzle.
So, to really understand how food fits into all this, we first have to look under the hood. We need to see what's actually going on inside our bodies when we feel that pressure. We have this brilliant, ancient biological system that's designed to keep us alive in short bursts of danger. The problem is, in our world, that system has kind of gone wild.
Okay, so this is the HPA axis. It stands for hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal axis, but you can just think of it as the body's emergency broadcast system. The second your brain senses a threat, could be a car cutting you off, could be a scary email, the hypothalamus, your brain's command center, hits the big red button. This triggers a cascade, releasing hormones like adrenaline and cortisol that gets you ready for action. Your heart pounds, you're laser focused, you are primed to either fight or run for your life. Now here's the kicker. This whole system is designed to shut itself off. Threat passes, hormones go back to normal, everything chills out. But what happens when the stress never really stops? Well, that fight or flight switch stays on. And this long-term marination in stress hormones messes with just about everything in your body, putting you at way higher risk for this whole laundry list of health problems.
We've established that the brain is the one sounding the alarm. But there's another major player here, an incredibly powerful system that's central to how we handle stress. And it's a whole hidden world that we're only just starting to really understand.
And that hidden player is your gut. Yep. We're talking about the trillions of tiny microorganisms living inside your digestive system, your gut microbiome. This is so much more than just digestion. It's a bustling, microscopic city of bacteria that is in constant communication with your brain. It influences your mood, your thoughts, even your ability to cope with stress. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote from Orlando Health nails it. When your gut is out of whack, maybe from a poor diet or stress itself, it can lead to inflammation in the brain. That's neuroinflammation. And that has a direct line to mood disorders. It's a crystal clear connection. A healthy gut and a healthy brain are totally inseparable.
So how does this actually work on a molecular level? Well, it's amazing. When you eat things with a lot of fiber, the good bacteria in your gut have a feast. They ferment that fiber and produce these incredible compounds called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. These are like little superstar molecules that travel up and reinforce your blood-brain barrier, which is basically the bouncer for your brain, keeping all the bad stuff out and preventing inflammation.
And it's not just SCFAs. Your gut is a sophisticated chemical factory. Let's take tryptophan, an amino acid you get from protein. Certain gut bacteria can take it and transform it into a powerful brain-protecting antioxidant called indole propionic acid, or IPA. This little molecule then travels to the brain and acts like a shield. It's just a perfect illustration of how much our brain relies on a happy, healthy gut. Okay, so if our gut bacteria are basically our allies in this fight for mental balance, the next question is pretty obvious, right? How do we help them? What kind of fuel do these microscopic partners need to do their jobs and protect our brains? Well, the answer is in very specific nutrients. Before we jump into the nutrients themselves, we need to get one key concept down: the coenzyme. Just think of an enzyme as a worker on a factory assembly line. Well, a coenzyme is the special tool that worker needs to do their job. Without the right tool, the whole production line just grinds to a halt. And a ton of vitamins, especially B vitamins, are these absolutely essential tools.
Your brain is a serious energy hog. I mean, it uses about 20% of your body's total energy. That energy is a molecule called ATP, and you literally can't make it without B vitamins. This whole crew, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pantothenic acid, they are all critical coenzymes for creating ATP. If you're low on any one of them, you're compromising your brain's ability to power itself.
Next up, magnesium. Let's think of it this way. Your brain has an accelerator pedal and a brake pedal, signals that excite it and signals that calm it down. Stress and depression can feel like your foot is just slammed on the accelerator. Well, magnesium helps pump the brakes. It calms down those excitatory signals and protects your brain from getting totally overstimulated.
Hey, remember tryptophan? We just met it as the raw material for that brain-protecting IPA. Well, it's got another, even more famous job. It is the one and only building block for serotonin. Your body cannot make tryptophan. You have to eat it. No tryptophan means no serotonin, and serotonin is absolutely critical for regulating your mood, your sleep, pretty much everything.
And finally, let's talk omega-3s. You find these in stuff like fatty fish, walnuts, and flax seeds. And they are just powerhouse inflammation fighters. We've already seen that neuroinflammation is a big problem for mood. Well, omega-3s swoop in to cool that inflammation down. They help neurotransmitters like serotonin work better, and they help keep your mood stable.
All right, let's zoom out. Let's connect all these tiny molecules and bacteria back to the big picture, the food that's actually on our plates. Because the tough reality is, our modern way of eating has created this massive gap between what our brains evolved to need and what we're actually giving them.
It's really a tale of two diets. On one path, you've got these ancestral or Mediterranean styles of eating. They're packed with fruits, veggies, fiber, and all those micronutrients we've been talking about. They fuel our gut allies. Then there's the other path, the standard Western diet. It's full of processed foods, refined sugar, and unhealthy fats. This diet literally starves our good bacteria and is often stripped of the very nutrients our brains are screaming for. And listen, the consequences of this are real. They are measurable. For instance, some research shows that more than 30% of adults over 60 in the US might be deficient in vitamin B12. We're not talking about a small number here. That's nearly 1 in 3 people missing the bare minimum of a nutrient that is absolutely crucial for the brain. So, here's the most important takeaway. While it's cool to talk about magnesium or omega-3s, the real power is in the overall dietary pattern. You can't just pop a few vitamins and then eat junk all day. More and more research shows that the inflammatory nature of the Western diet is a key driver for depression risk. It's the whole package that creates an internal environment where the brain simply cannot thrive.
Which brings us to a final, pretty powerful question. As we get smarter about this gut-brain connection, we're seeing just how deeply food shapes our mental health. It forces us to wonder if, in the not-so-distant future, a doctor prescribing a personalized diet plan might be just as common as them writing a prescription for a pill. It's a really compelling vision for a future where we finally treat mental and physical health as what they've always been, one and the same.